What's up, everybody? Welcome to Overwatch HQ, Episode 5. I'm your host, James Duggan, joined by Josh Mobley and Kyle O'Connor. We're back.
We're back. Yep. We're here. Episode 5, 4 months later.
Yes, it's been a minute, but there's a lot to discuss. Starting, of course, with Sombra. We're going to talk about her kit. We're going to talk about her impact on the game. We're also going to talk about arcade mode, what that entails, and what that means for the future of content in Overwatch. And finally, we're going to do something a little bit fun and have a debate on the best skin in the game. We're going to make a list of our favorite ones, so let's get right into it. Right now, I want to talk about Sombra, and I want to talk about the ARG. And now that it's all said and done, how we feel about it. Kyle, I know you, I'm sorry, Josh.
No, go right ahead.
I know you want to express your apathy for how long they held on to the ARG.
They just went way too long with it. Like, it was too much. At about the second or third instance of whatever the next puzzle was, the big puzzle, I think that would have been the perfect time to drop her. Like, put her on the PTR, give the, show the video, show their skill set, but it just went on too long. Eventually, I just stopped caring.
So a note on that, I was talking to principal designer Scott Mercer at Blizzcon, and I asked him about the ARG if they thought maybe they started it too early, if they were planning on releasing her at Blizzcon as the end game, or if they just held on to it too long, and he basically said, we learned a lot. So we will probably be seeing something like this in the future, just not nearly as long-winded. And ultimately, when it was finally time for her to be revealed, I was pretty excited. Josh, you got a chance to play her quite a bit.
I did.
What do you think?
I like her a lot. I think that she is probably pretty difficult for a newer player or maybe a low-skilled player to get their hands on because she's very squishy. She only really works well in close range, and her kit is designed in such a way where it's like just really like focused on high competitive play in a way. Having said that, I think that she's absolutely awesome and super unique, and I just can't wait to play more of her.
Yeah, she's very fun to play. I'm actually going to disagree with Josh and say that I actually think she lends herself pretty well to newer players because her E, and we'll talk about this specifically, but I think that's just a get-out-of-jail-free card unlike anybody we've seen before, including Tracer. But let's dive straight into her kit, starting with her left mouse, the machine pistol, which has 60 rounds. And like Tracer's pistols, they don't do a ton of damage until you start getting headshots, and then you realize her damage potential.
I have a comment about the pistols too. So I feel like I love Tracer. I feel like Tracer actually has a pretty good range if you pulse out her weapon. I feel like Sombra just does not have the same range.
Oh, it spreads like crazy.
Yeah.
Her mouse too, her right click is hack, and it's an incredibly dynamic ability. This is basically the backbone of her kit, and the idea is it's a castable silence. There's a cast time. When you finish casting it, it silences the enemy or hacks them. They're unable to use abilities, and that lasts for 5 seconds. It then has a 10-second cooldown. And she can also do this, fun fact, to Torbjorn turrets as well as health kits, and put the health kit out of commission for 60 seconds and the Torbjorn turret out of commission for 5 seconds. Yes, if it doesn't kill you and you're able to hack it, then yeah, that's totally a thing. Her E translocator, I think, is probably the most powerful mobility ability in the game because you cannot destroy it. You throw this disc out, it's a translocator disc, at least in the PTR right now.
It's the Unreal Tournament translocator, essentially, without the fragging of the teleportation.
And I facepalmed super hard when I realized you couldn't destroy it.
Yeah.
Like, nothing you can do can stop her from
You can set a
back.
trap up on it if you wanted, or a turret looking at it, but still it's...
Yeah, the first time I played, which we'll talk about arcade mode later, but the first time I played a Sombra versus a Sombra, I found my opponent's translocator, and the first thing I did was shoot my whole clip at it, because I was like, maybe I can blow this up.
Sure.
And you can't, I got sad.
Oh, man.
So basically, you throw that out, you have 15 seconds to use it before it disappears. If you die, it goes away, so you can't do it as a Hail Mary before you die in a point contention. But what is incredibly cool about it is it's basically just like a, almost like a tether to her, and it enables her to go do whatever she wants. And at the first sign of things going south, she's gone.
It's the same sort of feel and animation of Tracer's Rewind, right?
Yes.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah.
Yes. It's got a much longer range. The range is indefinite. It only lasts 15 seconds, but it just brings you from here to there, no questions asked. And when you couple that with the ability to use it offensively, throw it into a group of people, use your ultimate, and then also...
And above, you can do it while it's in its arc.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
I actually got myself stuck with it on Watchpoint Gibraltar, which we'll have B-roll of, and it took me a good long while to get out of there. I had to end up throwing another translocator out to get out.
I can't wait to see the plays where someone gets knocked off and they translocate back.
Oh, it's going to be so awesome.
That's going to be really good.
I wonder if you can put it on a basketball and then Symetra can toss it. Anyway.
Interesting.
Let's talk about her shift, which is Therm Optic Camo. She becomes invisible and gains a speed boost for 8 seconds, so keep in mind this is in the context of her having that other awesome mobility ability. Shooting or hacking breaks Camo. Using the translocator does not. So you can actually stealth, translocator toss, teleport, and you'll stay stealth the entire time if you have enough time.
What does the stealth look like when it's close enough? I haven't had that happen yet.
It's pink and purple. And you basically see a pink and purple outline of her, and you know that you have to be right in somebody's face.
Yeah, that's what, I was never able to get the closeness during the stealth. I've always just been doing the stealth.
Sure.
Interesting.
And then her passive is also very important. She can see critically wounded enemies through walls, which is very powerful, especially considering that you can basically secure picks for your team.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Finally, her ultimate Q, EMP, hacks enemies in the area around Sombra. So she emanates this pulse. It's a big AoE. It hacks everybody, and it also destroys shields.
Does the hack go through walls? I haven't. There's a lot of questions I haven't.
I have not even tried that.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think that's a really good question. No, I don't think it does, but I could be wrong. So the hack destroys shields, and I was wondering, like, what does that mean? Does that mean barriers? Does that mean the Reinhart shield? Does that mean Zenyatta shield HP? And the answer is kind of all of the above. So it'll destroy shield HP, it'll destroy the Lucio drop the beat shield, it'll destroy Reinhardt barrier, Winston barrier, Zarya barrier. But, fun fact, if you have a Zarya barrier on you and you also have shield HP from like Symetra, it will only eat one of those.
Which
not
one?
The other. The barrier. So yeah, that's her kit. Incredibly powerful, she has a ton of tools. And now let's get into discussion about the impact that Sombra is going to have on Overwatch. Huge, straight off the bat.
Oh yeah, she's going to change the meta entirely. You know, there's lots of shields. There's lots of
many
Lucio, Reinhardt. Yeah, your Mercy's not going to get that clutch res if she's hacked.
I think this is a super smart design choice for Blizzard. Maybe some tuning is needed, but this is basically a safety valve if Reinhardt gets out of hand. If the Lucio all-in death ball drop the beat comp gets out of hand, that Mercy coming in to res her team. There was nothing you could do about that previously aside from just killing her with a miraculous headshot. Right. But now you can actually hack her or EMP when you see she comes in, and then she's going to die before her silence is up. Yeah. And it's very versatile too. You can use it to engage fights, to strip shields from people. You can use it in defense when Lucio drops the beat.
If you drop a wombo combo and they're in your Zarya ult and you've got a Pharah going up, but there's still a bunch of shields, oh, guess what?
It's huge. You know what else it's huge for? Diva's ult.
Yes.
So Reinhardt, the classic defense to the Diva ult is everybody get behind me.
Yeah.
Sombra just comes in. She's like,
nope. She can. Well, no, she can just negate that. Can she just negate that with her right click?
No.
No, so it doesn't go through shields. That's something that's
the right click doesn't hit shields.
If you're behind the Reinhardt and you hack him, he won't have the shield anymore, right?
Yes.
But you can't do it like
so
through
it does
the
have a
shield.
projectile. Interesting.
Sort of. Well, sort of.
Well, so it's a double effect with her EMP because not only does it hack them, which stops something like Diva from using her defense matrix, but it also destroys shields. So if you're holding up a Reinhardt shield and the Sombra EMP is in front of you, it goes to 0 HP and you have to recharge all over again. So
the EMP, but the right click, you can't have a shield in between your line of sight.
Yes, right.
Okay,
if you try and hack a Reinhardt with the shield up, it will not work.
Unless you're behind him.
It was not like that at the Blizzcon build. I'm pretty sure. I am like 99% sure that I did it, and I was like, wow, this is incredibly powerful. So maybe some tuning has happened since then.
Maybe.
Other than that, she further punishes Torbjorn, which I think is very funny on PC because he's kind of already a low-tier hero.
He's incredibly fun. I love playing him, but competitive scene, it's like, okay, your turret's dead. Now what do you have?
It's so funny how that character was just like everywhere when the game launched, and then now I play, I never ever see him anymore.
No.
Yeah,
he's got the nerf bat hard. I mean,
especially when Sombra is going to be in every game. So also in this patch is a one hero limit for quick play, which I think is huge.
Needed.
That was
Thank
thunderous
God.
applause when that was announced.
Yes.
So good.
But if you're trying to test Sombra, you basically have to go into the arcade mode, which we'll get into later. Other than that, I think that her tool set, not only does it kind of disable and enable your team to counter these ultimates and set up these huge pushes, but it also lends itself very well to just assassinating people.
Yeah.
You see a Mercy who's low, you see a Lucio who's low, you stealth in, you drop your E first of all, you drop your translocator, you stealth in, you maybe hack them, or you just kill them straight out. Like a lot of people mess around with the hack when people are low. No, just shoot them in the head, they'll die. And then you just E back to safety. And you can see that person through walls. So she's very good, I think, for securing picks on your team if you're good with her. And she always has that getaway card to get back to safety, to get back to her team. There's no range limit on that. It goes through walls. Super powerful. Finally, I do think that there are counters to her. And I think we should talk about that.
I was reading about some of them earlier.
What were the ones you were reading about?
I saw a lot of Winstons, which makes sense because Winston is very good at closing the gap with those low HP heroes like Genji and Tracer and just like staying on them, especially since, it's lightning just locks on. And so, you could probably hack the Winston, but he's still probably going to run at you and just start zapping you. And then unless you warp away, which, unless you had the foresight to even do that, you're probably dead. So
Sure,
like
totally
that's
agree with you.
that one. Another one I saw was actually Widowmaker because of her ultimate. So even if she's invisible, your teammates would still be able to see the outline of her through walls, through everything, by activating Widowmaker's ult. So not necessarily, Widowmaker killing her, which I mean can happen, but just helping the team find her, because that's honestly one of the hardest parts.
If a Winston is on you, you are not going to cloak.
Oh, no.
Because the damage is going to interrupt it immediately, you're out of cloak, and then you're out of options if you don't have the translocator. And she doesn't really have any other way to get away.
Yeah.
She's not going to kill Winston unless she's aimbotting and just getting pure
I
headshots.
still wouldn't even think she could kill a Winston. She has 200 health.
Something like
200
that.
health.
200
Yes,
health?
200
Yeah,
health.
that's not happening.
Yeah.
That's good. I think we're going to see a rise on tanks that are dependent on the fact that they are meat shields, not because of their actual shields.
Roadhog is still very strong.
Roadhog, Roadhog. Cool. Hook. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate you guys. It looked really
If
good.
you somehow miraculously hack him mid-hook, he does not stop the hook like it does with other channeled abilities.
I love Roadhog.
Roadhog's the best.
He's just a one-man killing machine.
He's
like
a
every
one-man
time-
apocalypse.
Every time I've talked to somebody in a competitive game, picking an extra tank, it's like, okay, do we want like a pseudo DPS? Do we want a
pick
DPS
Roadhog.
and tank loathing?
Yeah.
Just pick Roadhog. He fits into pretty much every and if
comp.
you've got a Roadhog who can hit his hooks, like
Yeah.
MVP every game. I mean, my only ever legendary card on performance has been
Roadhog.
a Roadhog.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. You
So
can just
principal
chug through most damage.
designer Scott Mercer had something to say on this topic when I asked him about maybe Sombra being a little bit OP. He said, once you actually start playing her, there are some counters that aren't immediately obvious, and I think we'll see that. I think people think she's overpowered. I don't think she's as overpowered as people are making her out to be, but I do think her toolkit is very powerful.
I don't even think she's all that overpowered.
I don't think she's overpowered either. I think she's a great answer for the current meta, and I think I disagree with Doug and agree with you that I think her skill ceiling is very high, and it's very good. It shows a trend of releasing characters that have increasingly more complex kits.
Sure. To be fair, I do think her skill ceiling is high, but I also think her barrier for entry is low because a lot of her abilities.
Isn't that the
Yeah.
perfect character design?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The final thing that we have to talk about, you both touched on it, is that she is most powerful when utilized good communication with your team.
Yes.
So basically, my ult's going off now, I'm hacking this person now, and that enables your team to do well. Because she can get kills on her own, but she is best utilized in team play, like so many other heroes. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about arcade mode. So what arcade mode is basically the evolution of brawl mode. Brawl mode is out, arcade mode is in. Brawl mode was not clicking outside of Lucio Ball and outside of Junkenstein's Revenge, and that was for a number of reasons. Like, who really wants to play 6v6 soldier? Especially with no incentive, right?
Yeah, there was I wanted a loot box. Like if you were gonna offer me a loot box for the one brawl I won every week, oh my god, I'd be in there every week. But I wasn't getting anything.
It's funny you
for
say
it.
that because now you do get loot boxes.
a
So
lot.
every 3 wins in arcade mode, you get a loot box up to a total of 3 loot boxes a week, so that's 9 wins, and then you come back in. And what's cool about arcade mode is it's not a single mode, it's also more permanent and exists as a platform for them to introduce new game modes into Overwatch, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah. You also actually get, on top of the 3, every 3 wins up to like 9 or whatever, you also get a loot box at least for your first win a week for 1v1 and for 3v3. I don't know about the 6v6. So you can get at least 5 a week if you just win 9 games.
That's awesome. So currently implemented in arcade mode is 1v1 mystery hero, which basically is just, it'll pick a hero, and then the other person will have the same hero, and you kind of go back and forth 1v1ing against each other as a mirror match. You played a lot of it.
I played a lot of it. It's really intense. It's really, really intense. But yeah, so it's round based. You have to win 5 rounds to win the game, and every single round it picks a random hero that both players play as. So like, it picks Sombra. Both of you are Sombra, so you're both hacking. You're both like, doing all the crazy stuff. Then let's say like you die. Then
Would
all
it pick a character like Mercy?
it picks anybody. I did one where it was 2 Bastions.
Oh my
And
God.
it was so intense because it was like 2 people trying to set up and then like run and heal and stuff. But and then if it goes on too long and no one dies, like it just does a draw. But it's really fun. It's really, really intense. I like it a lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kyle, if you had to pick one 1v1 character that you were super strong with that nobody could beat you in a mirror match, what would it be?
Roadhog.
Roadhog?
Roadhog.
The
I
funny
had to
thing
do
about
one of
Roadhog
those.
is hooking people sometimes isn't in your best interest.
No.
If it's another
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm going to shoot
Especially
you
if
in
it's
the
another
face.
Roadhog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roadhog or Reinhardt. Well, I don't know. I haven't played much Reinhardt.
Reinhardt mirror matches are super fun.
Yeah,
it's all about hitting your charge.
Yeah, it's like who's gonna charge first. It's really
My Reinhardt
really
was really strong. I don't know about anymore.
All right, so there's also 3v3 elimination, which is akin to Counter-Strike. Basically, when you die, you're out for the round, and then your team is down a player, and you have to come back from that.
I like that.
That mode is so good.
That sounds like that should be permanent.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in the, just in a couple seconds here. But 6v6 mystery hero, also a thing, as well as 6v6 no limit. So again, there is a hero limit, one hero, no duplicates per team, basically.
Yeah.
And so now that exists in Brawl. If you want to go check out Sombra, the new hero, you can go into Brawl and be guaranteed to pick her.
Which is great, because I know that there's probably a couple people that are upset about the the hero limit in quick play now. I don't know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know what.
But
Winston
it's good that they offer that, so if you are one of those people that likes to play like 6 Hanzos or whatever, like you still have that avenue,
You
but
can go hang out with the people that
you can go hang out with all the weirdos maining Hanzo.
And then finally, All Brawl, which is kind of just a mashup of random brawls that have done in the past. Maybe they'll add some in the future. But speaking of future game modes, I want to talk about something that I've wanted to see in Overwatch since I played Junkenstein's Revenge, and even before that, and that is a proper cooperative PvE mode.
Yes, please.
So I've thought about a little bit what this could mean. I thought about it before I went to Blizzcon and interviewed principal designer Scott Mercer and discussed the potential, and I have a cool quote at the end of this to cap this off. But the thing that I want to see is the Overwatch PvE adventure, somewhat similar to the Hearthstone PvE adventure, and you might be thinking, wait a minute, those are two totally separate platforms, how could that work? Let me explain. So, similar to Hearthstone Adventures, it's PvE focused and it's cooperative. You pay for it, I don't know, $5, $10, or you unlock it with gold. Maybe the first one is Raid on Volskaya, and the first fight is you as 3 or 4 people that are pre-selected heroes fighting this very mechanically rich Volskaya mech. There's a lot of telegraphs. Blizzard's pedigree in World of Warcraft, they have fantastic mechanical boss design when it comes to multiple people, and I think this would be really fun. And basically what it gives you, skins, sprays, emotes, highlight intros, victory poses, player icons, maybe even weapon skins. Change it up, offer some exclusive rewards tied to this co-op PvE series of missions.
You're getting me excited for something that doesn't even exist.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
sounds like the perfect co-op experience.
Kyle, you're a notorious PvPer. All you do in World of Warcraft is PvP for the most part. Would this interest you?
No.
No. Well,
This interests me greatly.
I think it would be great. I think it would be fantastic content. I think it would get consumed. That's not why I play Overwatch.
As
that's
a
a fair point.
As a Destiny and Diablo addict, and as someone who wishes they had way more co-op games to play with their friends and their significant other, this sounds freaking amazing.
Sure.
I want it so bad.
So I do think that it would create 2 demographics, that's fine, but I also think a lot of players would play both.
Yeah.
They'd want to take the skins and aesthetic rewards they earn in this raid mode, bring it into PvP.
I'm the exception. For me, it's like, I don't play Call of Duty anymore, but back when I did, it wasn't even a campaign. Like, wow, I leveled PvPing. Like, story, not huge for me in games like that. But I definitely think I'm the exception. I'm not the rule. There's not hundreds and thousands of guys like me.
Speaking of story, there could also be a lot of story narrative ties to this. They could expand on the way through which they're telling players the story of the Overwatch universe with this mode. I think it's a really smart idea, maybe because I came up with it, but
they could introduce characters this way. Once some X is achieved, this is unlocked for everyone on the server. So like that's very far-fetched, but maybe they'll make something so hard that it's like, once it's beaten first, you'll get Doomfist.
What I wouldn't want is for them to create any divide between you having to play this mode to enhance your PvP mode or locking any content out.
No.
I would think it'd be fine if it was purely aesthetic, maybe a shiny skin, that's all I need. Just some incentive to go complete it on hard. And by the way, Junkenstein's Revenge on hard was actually really difficult.
Oh my god.
Especially since all the heroes have flat stats, they pick the heroes, and I think Blizzard could do a bang-up job with creating a ton of interesting boss and scenario encounters. And to kind of cap this off, I want to read a quote from my interview with principal designer Scott Mercer. I asked, are there potentially going to be any PvE modes beyond a brawl capacity, something similar to co-ops perhaps? And this was after we had been talking about Junkenstein's Revenge. And he says yeah at the very beginning, but that was more of a colloquial like, yeah. So anyway, he says, yeah, it's something we're definitely excited about how Junkenstein's Revenge turned out. The community response was super positive. A lot of people were just glad to play something different, not even just purely as a break. A lot of people were like, oh, this is something you can do in Overwatch. So I mean, yeah, I think we'll definitely look into the future to see if we can have more experiences like that. Exactly how that will turn out and when, we'll have to see. So that gives me hope. I think if there is enough community clamor for this, we may very well see a serious cooperative PvE mode in Overwatch, and I know it's a PvP-focused game, but I do think this is a platform through which Blizzard can kind of communicate their awesome design prowess in a first-person capacity, something we haven't seen before.
And if you like this, if this is something you want, and they do it, you spend the money on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how you communicate with companies. Is if you like it,
buy it.
Vote with your wallet.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, the time is now to discuss our favorite skins. This is going to get very heated.
No.
We each
Let's make it happen.
The cuffs are coming off.
Yeah.
so
make it happen.
to kind of just switch things up, do something a little bit fun. I asked these guys to put together a list of their top 10 favorite skins. I did the same. I'm going to start off. And basically, we're going to come up with a top 10 list coming out of this. Not like an officially sanctioned IGN featured top 10 list, but an officially sanctioned Overwatch HQ top 10 list for our favorite skins.
An unofficial list.
Number one for me is Lone Wolf Hanzo, purely because I think the skin is cool, but I think the fact that he has custom audio and a custom alt animation with also custom audio sets itself apart from every other skin. I think that is something that I want to see more of in legendary skins moving forward.
Yeah.
Next up, Goldheart Reinhart, for obvious reasons. Look at him. I call him Pumpkin Spice Reaper, but he is officially Pumpkin Reaper. I thought it was really cool how he popped up so many times in the Junkenstein's Revenge, and you were able to unlock that skin. Mecha Queen Farah is my number 4. My number 5 is Dr. Junkenstein Junkrat.
Yeah.
My number 6 is Coldheart Reinhardt, which is not a legendary skin, and is super epic for not being a legendary skin, especially since there are so many other awesome Reinhardt legendaries. Number 7, Junker Diva, obviously. Number 8, Oni Genji, which took Carbon Fiber Genji by storm off my list once I saw it. That is a brand new skin. Mako Roadhog I have always loved. There's so much detail on that skin, and the whole idea that he has the shark gas mask is super cool. And then, especially like the pirate potions that he like slams into his head and drinks. And then finally, Overgrown Bastion, I will forever love. As somebody who doesn't really love Bastion, I think that skin is cool.
That skin is cool.
Kyle, it's your turn.
Okay. So I try to make my selections not based off of ostentatiousness or popularity. I try to go off the ones I personally like myself, which is the point of this whole exercise.
Yes. Sure.
So I went with my number 1 being Paragon Reinhardt, which I don't think many people would agree with or expect, but I think that is the best Reinhardt skin.
That's the white and gold
That's
one,
the white and
I'm
gold.
with you. That's the one.
Put on your golden hammer. Rock that skin. It's the best. It's understated. It's subtle. It's just really elegantly pulled off. I love it. I think it's the best.
I don't know if anyone's ever said a giant gold hammer was subtle before.
No, but comparatively to like Goldheart and Blackheart and all these other skins that are just super flashy or very ostentatious, I think this one is the one that does it for me. Number 2, Farah Anubis. Number 3, Blackheart Reinhardt. I still love it. I just think Paragon is better. Number 4, Carbon Fiber Genji. Number 5, Lone Wolf Hanzo. Number 6, Nippon Genji. I was torn about this because I don't like supporting the exclusive loot boxes, even though Josh and I have spoken, we think they're going to come back in vaults, things like that. Number 7, Sparrow Genji. Number 8, Junker Diva. Number 9, Gambler McCree. And number 10, Mecha Farah.
Solid list.
Mecha Queen
I like
Farah.
it. Josh.
All right. Some of mine have already been mentioned. Carbon Fiber Genji. Super cool.
Strong
It
call.
reminds me of like a PlayStation or something. I don't know. It just looks sweet. It
Also, it's not a legendary.
Yeah, also not a
That's really
legendary.
Neither is my Paragon one. Yep.
Yeah. I have some legendaries on here as well. Junker Diva, obviously, because it's just like got this cool like apple seed kind of look to it.
Yeah.
Junkenstein, I absolutely love the Universal monsters, like the 1930s stuff, and this is just so inspired by it. Also, Junkrat's my favorite character. Unfortunately, I never got it out of the freaking Halloween thing, so I'm hoping that, 300. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be back next Halloween, then I can get it. I'm just gonna always have 3,000 credits, so I can just buy it. Riverboat McCree, which is basically the color variation on
Gambler.
the Gambler McCree. I just like the colors better. Utopia Symetra, which is another legendary skin. I really love Symetra. I love the name, and also I like the white and gold and stuff. It just looks cool. Punk Tracer. I love Tracer. I like punk music. I like the way it looks. I don't know. There's just something kind of like, I don't know, spunky about it. It's cool. I like that one a lot. I have Barbosa Torbjorn. I love pirates. I don't really need to go into more detail there. Noir Widowmaker. I really like this skin. It was a pre-order incentive, but
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's just way cooler than the basic Widowmaker
See,
skin.
it's almost like a Matrix skin. I was
Sort of.
considering putting that on my list as well.
Yeah. I have Explorer Winston. Again, being a fan of like the 1930s things, I just love how weird and dumb this looks, and I rock it all the time.
It's weird because that's exactly what I hate about it.
And then I have Captain Amari, which is the younger version of
I think that was a
Anna,
good call.
which I actually,
I like that a lot.
I really love Anna as a character, and I like her like younger self look.
All right, so far the ones that are definitely going on the list, we have 5 right now based upon commonalities between the lists, and in no particular order, it is Carbon Fiber, Genji, Junker Diva, Junkenstein, Lone Wolf Hanzo, Mecha Queen Farah. Are we all good with those? I mean, we have to say, we have like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. I personally don't like Junkenstein, but that's just my issue with exclusive loot boxes.
Sure.
Not the quality of the skin.
Let's all champion a single skin from our list. If you had to pick one, let's just brute force it onto this list.
Junkenstein.
Other than Junkenstein, right?
Well, that's already on.
Yeah, no, so he's got to pick a different one.
I gotta pick a different one?
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm going to have to
God.
go Paragon Reinhardt. I might have to champion that
that's
one.
fine. Oh, man.
In the spirit of Paragon Reinhardt, because it's the same colors,
Yeah.
I'm gonna champion Utopia Symetra.
Yeah.
Okay. It's no longer my list, but Utopia Symetra, and then we're doing Paragon Reinhardt, that's fine.
That's right.
So then there's 3 more spots.
Yeah, man, I want Cold Heart on here. I also want Gold Heart on here, but
I
They
imagine
can't all be Reinhardt.
They can't all be Reinhardt.
Okay,
That's
so
the
we have
problem.
one that's similar. We have the Gamble Boat McCree over here.
Gambler. Gambler McCree is a little more flashy than I like.
also Gambler McCree is the original skin. Riverboat is just a reskin. I hate to break it to you.
I know. I'm just saying the colors.
I want to say Gambler. I want to go with Gambler. If I have to argue for one of these 3 spots that are remaining.
All right, I'll say that. Gambler.
I'd say there's more important things to fight over, so I'll let
So
you have
Paragon,
this.
Utopia, Gambler. Now I get to pick one. It is my turn to pick Pumpkin Spice Reaper.
Pumpkin Spice Reaper.
Yes.
I got 4 of those during the Halloween event. Very
Man,
salty.
I got so many. I wonder if there's something going on with that.
I
'cause
spent
got so
$20
many,
and I got 4
so many
in a
different
row.
ones.
I
The
was
other
so
one that
angry.
I really want on here, unless you guys have a problem with it, is Make a Roadhog. I've loved that skin since the beginning.
That's the one I use. I mean,
Great. Let's put it on.
Josh?
I think this is it.
Which
Mako,
oh,
one,
the
two,
Mako
Shark.
Road. I don't really like that one, but I'm outnumbered.
Okay,
So.
so right now our list, unordered, we have to order it very soon. Carbon Fiber, Genji, Junker Diva, Junkenstein, Lone Wolf Hanzo, Mecha Queen Farah, Utopia Symetra, Paragon Reinhardt, Gambler McCree, Pumpkin Spice Latte, and Mako Roadhog.
I didn't count that. How many were we missing?
Ooh, that's it.
That's it? That's the full
yes,
thing?
but now we have to order it super quick. Lone Wolf, I think, is number 1. It's on all of our lists.
Okay.
He's not on my list.
Mecha Queen Farah, Carbon Fiber, I think are also super high. So I'm gonna,
Classic Duggan. He's
gonna
on all the lists.
Hey, we can change these in just a second, but Lone Wolf Hanzo, Carbon Fiber is number 2. Number 3 is Mecha Queen. Number 4, I think, is Junker for now. I think those are the high ones. I think after that, it probably goes
Junkenstein.
5 for Junkenstein.
Paragon.
I think 6 is Paragon. I agree with that.
Probably Gambler.
Yeah, 7. I'm going to say 8 is...
Pumpkin Spice or Mako. One of those
agree.
two.
Yeah.
Then 9
I'm going to say 8 is Mako, 9 is Pumpkin Spice,
10
10
is
is Symetra. And looking at this, I want to change Junker Diva to be higher on the list, so I'm going to knock down, let's knock down Mecha Queen Farah. Is that okay?
No. No. What's above it? Like,
All right, so we could bring Lone Wolf Hanzo down. Let's do it.
I would say Lone Wolf should be 2.
So
Cobalt should be 1.
I'm just so indifferent.
All right,
about Lone
Carbon
Wolf
Fibers.
Hanzo.
Okay, here is the official list. Carbon Fiber, Genji number 1. Number 2.
Best skin in the game.
Yes. Number 2 is Lone Wolf Hanzo. Number 3, Mecha Queen Farah. Number 4, Junker Diva.
Yeah.
Number 5, Junkenstein Junkrat. Number 6, Paragon Reinhardt. Number 7, Gambler McCree. Number 8, Mako Roadhog. And number 9, Pumpkin Spice Reaper.
What about number 10?
And number 10, Utopia Symetra, which I don't know how that got on the list.
Because of me. I'll champion it till the day I die.
guys.
I feel like we've done a giant disservice to Reinhardt that there's only one on there.
It should all really be Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Top 10 Reinhardt
This is the way these things go. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been Overwatch HQ Episode 5. There will be more episodes in the future as Blizzard releases content. And for all things Overwatch, you're already in the right place. You're at IGN.
I regret nothing.